If you consider the current state of China and imagine its totalitarian control intensified 2 or 3 times, that's the direction we're headed. The human brain processes information through electrical and electromagnetic signals, communicating with the body via these frequencies. By 2026, the electromagnetic impact on our environment will be much greater than it is now. Our bodies act like antennas, with the physical body being a projection of a waveform information field. Any external electrical or electromagnetic frequencies that disrupt this balance will have both psychological and physical effects. The brain operates within specific frequency bands, and if these bands are accessed with external frequencies, as governments like Russia's have known and used since the 1950s, thoughts and perceptions can be implanted in people's minds, making them think these are their own ideas and decisions. The increasing presence of artificial frequencies by 2026 and beyond will significantly enhance the ability to control human minds, even beyond the substantial control that exists today. This control could become so pervasive that people won't even be able to resist or say no, because they won't be in control of their own thoughts. We're moving towards complete AI control of the human mind, reaching a point where free thought could end entirely. We are at a critical juncture up to around 2030, though that might be an optimistic deadline, where the future of the human race, as we know it, will be decided. This is the moment where we determine whether human free thought continues or comes to an end. Why are they targeting the young, and now even very young children? It's because they have a timeline, a plan, a sequence of events for transforming our world into one of total control. The children of today will be adults or entering adulthood by the late 2020s or 2030, so they need these kids to be so programmed that they will comply with anything when the time comes to complete their agenda. In all your 30 years of studying this agenda, did you ever expect such a rapid period of overt actions like we saw in 2020? This happened very quickly in 2020, but the outcome was no surprise to me. I was writing about the basic themes of this control agenda in the mid-1990s, so what's happening now isn't unexpected. What did surprise me was the sheer speed of it, driven by mass compliance and acquiescence. I'm sure even the controlling forces were surprised at how quickly society accepted their accelerated agenda. I've known about their overarching plans for a long time and have been trying to bring this into the public eye, despite being laughed at, ridiculed, and dismissed. I said a long time ago that things would have to get really bad, overtly bad, before we could turn this around. Only then will people realize that this isn't just a theory. This is real, and it's happening right in front of us. There's a huge gap between what's really happening behind the scenes and what most people believe based on mainstream narratives. Bridging this gap is challenging. People only start to see the truth when things become undeniably bad, making it impossible to ignore the evidence right in front of them. This is what has woken up many people in recent months. More individuals are now looking into this information and conducting their own research, which is fantastic. Awareness is growing. The controlling forces, often referred to as the cult, are planning to transform human society into something reminiscent of a dystopian sci-fi movie. They're now openly discussing their agenda for 2030 and beyond. By that year, many aspects of their plan will come into play. To summarize, they are no longer hiding their intentions because the scale of their agenda has become too large to conceal. Their goal is to connect human brains to AI networks. Initially, they developed this agenda in secret, but now they have to promote it because its effects are becoming visible. They're marketing this brain AI integration by claiming it will make you superhuman with enhanced abilities like gods. However, the truth is, it will make you subhuman, not superhuman. You'll become posthuman, a shadow of your current free self. This is the vision that proponents like Ray Kurzweil at Google are openly advocating. Once AI is connected to your brain, it will gradually take over human thinking until human cognition as we know it becomes negligible and eventually disappears. At that point, the human mind will effectively become the AI mind. Until now, they've had to manipulate our perceptions externally to control behavior. But their ultimate goal is to no longer manipulate perception from the outside. Instead, they want to become the perception itself by integrating AI into human cognition. This is the point where you would become part of an AI hive mind with individuality, free thought, and independent cognition completely erased. This agenda of centralized technological control over humanity includes measures like mandatory masks and quarantines as steps toward conditioning the masses to obey government commands without question. In summary, we are facing a sinister agenda, generations in the making, orchestrated by a controlling group to establish a global, technologically powered control grid of immense totalitarian scope. This agenda aims to strip humans of free thought, self-determination, and awareness of our own capabilities and origins through a combination of social programming, electromagnetic manipulation of our biofields, and planned integration with AI networks. The end goal is mass mind control and the re-engineering of humanity into a compliant, unaware, transhuman workforce, connected to and controlled by a centralized AI brain, serving the whims of those in power. This situation is incredibly serious, akin to something out of a dystopian sci-fi nightmare, yet it's being openly discussed and acknowledged as the desired endgame by the very institutions and authorities that promote compliance as the answer to all our problems. The reality is right in front of us, and anyone who pays attention can see the true gravity of what we are facing. The concept of connecting our brains to AI, allowing it to take over human thinking until our cognition becomes negligible, is not just a distant fantasy. It's a part of a broader agenda that has been unfolding gradually. Until now, they've had to manipulate our perceptions externally to control behavior. However, their ultimate goal is far more invasive. They want to become the perception itself by integrating AI into human cognition. This is where we risk losing our individuality, free thought, and independent cognition, effectively becoming part of an AI hive mind. Measures like mandatory masks and quarantines are just the beginning. They are steps toward conditioning us to obey government commands without question, normalizing compliance, and paving the way for more intrusive controls. The overarching plan is to establish a global, technologically powered control grid of immense totalitarian scope. This agenda aims to strip us of our free thought, self-determination, and awareness of our own capabilities and origins through a combination of social programming, electromagnetic manipulation of our biofields, and planned integration with AI networks. The end goal is to achieve mass mind control and re-engineer humanity into a compliant, unaware, transhuman workforce connected to and controlled by a centralized AI brain serving the whims of those in power. This vision is chilling, and it threatens the very essence of what it means to be human. However, we still have a choice, though the window is closing. We can either surrender to this agenda of total technocratic control or firmly reject this bleak vision. We can demand a future based on harmonious evolution, liberty, and respect for the divine gifts of human consciousness and free will. Every decision we make from now on is crucial in determining the outcome. It's time to wake up and see the reality of the situation. We must become aware, educate ourselves and others, and make informed choices. The power lies in our hands, but we need to act soon. By standing together and rejecting the path of total control, we can shape a future that honors our humanity, fosters freedom, and respects our innate potential. We must make the right collective choice to ensure a future where human consciousness and free will are preserved and celebrated.